Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Monday, November 24th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. On Sunday, the sod was turned for a new airport terminal at Bartica, which aims to cut travel time, expand tourism, and unlock regional economic potential. Ghana will start flying fresh produce from the interior to CARICOM markets within a year, part of a wider push to boost food security and regional trade. Ghana's investment team says France's port and logistics model offer a practical blueprint to modernize local export systems. And a Corentyne family is demanding answers after both a mother and her newborn died, just days after a routine clinic visit. The sod was turned for a new airport terminal in Bartica on Sunday, aimed at strengthening regional connectivity, expanding tourism, and supporting economic diversification in Region 7. Speaking at the sod turning event, President Dr. Irfan Ali described the development as a transformative milestone for the region and part of wider national efforts to improve transport and reduce costs. He said the initiative reflects the continuous reinvestment of local wealth back into national development and praised the BK Group for expanding its investments across Guyana.
So I'm pleased to join all of you present today in breaking new ground for the proposed terminal to be built here. This is an exciting development and one that is transformative in its nature and character. Bartica is changing and changing rapidly. And it is all part of the transformation taking place nationally.
The terminal is expected to cut travel time and reduce operational expenses for interior operators, while enabling innovation such as drone logistics, medevac services, and the direct export of food products. The president said the new terminal will be a critical link in opening the region by air, expanding tourism opportunities, and improving services for residents and businesses.
This new hub will save at a minimum 20 minutes on interior and hinterland connectivity, air connectivity. That would reduce operational costs by at least 1/3 of its current costs, with operators positioning themselves out of this new facility. Investors are more willing to take risks when they know that infrastructure supports movement and access. Connectivity also attracts tourism, stimulates construction, and unlocks economic potential.
Bartica, long known as the gateway to the hinterland and mining districts, is evolving into a more diversified township. Key public investments highlighted include upgrades to the Stelling and plans for world-class marina, major spending on housing, roads, drainage, and utilities, a new water treatment plant, the landing of fiber optic cable and 5G service, and the extension of the highway network connecting Bartica to Demerara. Extradition proceedings for U.S. indicted businessman Nazar Mohammed and his son Azzuddin progressed today as prosecutors submitted additional documents before Magistrate Judy Lachman, completing full disclosure in the case. The Mohammeds, operators of Mohammed's enterprise, are wanted in the United States on charges including gold smuggling, wire fraud, and breaches of U.S. financial laws. Earlier hearings outlined allegations of multi-million-dollar schemes involving unreported gold shipments and structured financial transactions. The case has attracted wide public interest due to the family's prominent role in Ghana's gold industry and extensive commercial connections, as well as Azzuddin's role as leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Wind Party. Since U.S. extradition request was lodged, the proceedings have centered on exchange of evidence between Guyanese authorities and U.S. officials. With all supporting materials now provided to the defense, the matter has been adjourned to Friday, November 28, when arguments will continue as the court determines whether the evidentiary requirements for extradition have been satisfied. Ghana will begin sending fresh agricultural produce directly from the interior to CARICOM states within the next 12 months. President Dr. Irfan Ali made the announcement on Sunday during the sod turning for the new airport terminal at the Bartica Aerodrome. He said the initiative is part of a wider national strategy to strengthen food security, ease transport challenges, and position Ghana as a major fresh food supplier in the Caribbean.
I assure you, within 12 months, we will fly food out from the interior, whether it's Letem or here, directly into CARICOM countries. Within 12 months, we will get it done. Integration takes connectivity a step further by ensuring that all regions, sectors, and communities participate in national progress.
Dr. Ali said the move will open new income streams for mining communities, now branching into agriculture and agro-processing. Better air links will also cut transport time and give farmers in Region 7 and nearby areas easier access to regional markets. He added the government is working with air operators and regulators to set up the logistics needed for smooth, reliable movement of produce from the hinterland to CARICOM destinations.
A country develops most effectively when its regions are not growing in isolation, but are linked economically, socially, and institutionally, so that opportunities can benefit flow across the entire nation. Integration harmonizes the movement of people, capital, information, and services, reducing inequalities and fostering shared prosperity.
The president stressed the development must reach every region and ensure hinterland farmers fully participate in the national and regional economy. The export effort supports CARICOM's goal to cut its food import bill by 25% and aims to expand its production, boost value-added processing, and increase earnings for farmers nationwide. Guyanese broadcaster and public relations expert Michaela Cameron says women remain the backbone of Guyana's progress, a belief that inspired her to create the celebrated Phenomenal Women series. Now entering its 5th season, the program highlights exceptional women across 5 sectors: business and entrepreneurship, sports, health, arts, culture, education, and public service. Cameron shared the story behind the series on the Starting Point podcast.
What an amazing introduction, not just about myself, but about women, Guyanese women being the backbone of this amazing country that we live in.
She said the series was born from her own experience returning to work shortly after becoming a mother, while balancing professional pressures. It made her think of the many Guyanese women facing similar challenges, often without recognition. Cameron explained the show focuses on authentic storytelling, featuring women who have broken glass ceilings and contributed meaningfully to national development. Honorees are selected based on their achievements, with their work choosing them rather than the other way around.
There are women excelling in so many different sectors across Guyana. And that was the intention. And it's not my program, it's for these women. It's for Guyanese women and men, who have excelled and who are a part of my journey as well too.
Looking ahead, Cameron says the 5th season will offer surprises while maintaining its focus on authentic storytelling. She encouraged young women to stay true to themselves, lead with kindness, and seize emerging opportunities in Guyana. When returned, France offers Guyana a modern export model. Miss Universe Guyana franchise director steps down, and Barbies mourns after a deadly school trip accident.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. Guyana is taking lessons from France's advanced port and logistics systems. Chief Investment Officer Dr. Peter Ramsroop says France's advanced port, logistics, and agri-processing systems are a valuable blueprint to drive Guyana's export growth. His comments follow the completion of the first leg of the Ghana-EU Global Gateway Study Tour, which included visits to Paris and Marseille, engagements with Haropo Port, tours of the Fosse Marseille port facilities, and discussions with Marseille Gyptus International, developers of the CI5 port community system. The delegation examined how digital integration, multimodal transport, and strong public-private collaboration drive efficiency in Europe's supply chains. Ramsroop said the France leg gave an excellent start and that upcoming meetings in Brussels will further guide Guyana's efforts to strengthen connectivity, infrastructure, and agri-export systems. Nicholas Daegu Boyer, director of the Reed and Hoop Shore Base, and Rafiq Khan, president of the Ghana Manufacturing and Service Association, said the French model demonstrates achievable modernization and offers valuable lessons to enhance competitiveness in Ghana's logistics and agro-processing sectors. National Director for Universe Guyana and Co-Director for Universe Ghana, Terry Brown Walker, has resigned with immediate effect, citing a lack of transparency, rising franchise fees, and pressure to choose between the Miss Universe and Miss Cosmo pageant systems. In a letter dated November 23, 2025, she said inconsistent fees, unclear selection processes, and ongoing organizational issues made it impossible for her to continue. Brown Walker said she faced threats, restrictions, and pressure to align with a single pageant system, pressure described as unfair and dismissive of her business responsibilities. She noted that she acted with integrity by sending delegates to both platforms, saying pageantry should focus on empowerment, not intimidation. She also revealed that despite recent health challenges, including kidney cancer, serving in the role remained an honor. Brown Walker reaffirmed her commitment to the values of the former Miss Universe organization. She has not yet decided whether she will continue with Miss Cosmo in 2026, but says she remains open to opportunities that are transparent and fair. A minibus accident along number 62 Public Road, Corentyne, last Friday left 2 people dead and 16 others injured. 16-year-old Judea Celine of Limler Village was pronounced dead at the number 75 Regional Hospital after the bus taking students to a school athletics meet overturned. Police say the driver, 31-year-old teacher Jerome Bernard, lost control. He died from his injuries the next day. Bernard and 2 passengers, teenage girls, were transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital in critical condition. The remaining 14 students are hospitalized in stable condition. For the families, the loss has been crushing. Judea's mother, Shamila Glasgow, said she dropped her daughter at school that morning.
I dropped her to school this morning, and that was it. Until called me and said, "Mommy, surgery room say she got to go to school." So I said, "Okay, I come in." And when I come, I give her she passage and she leave. I went in Rosa, picking up my son from lesson. I got a phone call around 6:30 last night and said that she reached up with an accident.
She later learned the bus had swerved to avoid a horse. Her younger daughter, aged 13, was also on board and is under observation. Teacher Jerome Bernard's death has also devastated his relatives. His aunt, Brenda Lewis, said he regularly volunteered to transport students.
He go to nationals, he go to all the activities when it comes to athletics in this region 6. And he always take them out. This is not the first time that he take them out. He take them to any activity that school has. Our boss, he's the driver. Sometimes my nephew would be the driver. So this fateful day, it was so tragic. He took them the Wednesday, took them, bring them back. He took them the Thursday. And the Friday morning, he came to me, he said, "Auntie, I'm going to take the train." I said, "Okay, go travel safe." But at the date of 5, 6 o'clock, we had a horrible news.
Postmortems on the deceased are pending as police continue investigating. A routine clinic visit ended in heartbreak for a Corentyne family this week after 36-year-old mother of 3, Latoya Griffith, died at the New Amsterdam Regional Hospital. Speaking with Ignite News, Griffith's mother, Virginia Jones, said Latoya had attended a routine clinic visit on Tuesday and was then admitted to the maternity ward. Jones visited her daughter on Thursday, unaware it would be the last time she saw her alive.
Soon, like I left there, things just got worse with my daughter. Things just got worse with her. When I get a message, the call say she need. My daughter called me and said she need blood. When we reach there, they said she have to go to the tongue. It was so much confused with enough lie and all mix up. At the end, I said she have to go to the tongue. Yes, then next they call back. Then I said, okay, it's a case that she have to go to tongue. When you go in, they say she passed.
Adding to their anguish, Griffith's baby died the following day.
To my opinion, like it's when my daughter dead, then the question take with the baby because the baby wasn't breathing on her own. Well, at least I need justice for my daughter. At least she done dead and gone, but she get kids back. She have a family. We're going to take care of them.
A tearful Jones related that her daughter always said to her, "Mommy, I will take care of you," but she will now face the painful task of laying her to rest. Health officials have confirmed that investigation into the circumstances surrounding both deaths is currently underway. When we come back, Ghana shines on day 1 of the Caribbean Squash Championships. New Zealand prepares for the West Indies Test Series, and Wayne Rooney weighs in on Mohamed Salah's role at Liverpool.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Night News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. Ghana had an impressive opening day performance at the Senior Caribbean Squash Championships. Emily Fangafat set the tone with a dominant 3-0 victory over teammate Tihani Monroe. India Barco followed with a spirited comeback, rebounding from a first-game loss to defeat the Dominican Republic's Bermelin Pina Abreu 3-1. Kirsten Gomes produced the highlight of the day, outlasting Barbados' Samira Solomon in a tense 5-game thriller, winning 11-9 in the decider. Ashley Cowell added another commanding win, sweeping her opponent from Port of Spain in straight games. Ghana also excelled in internal matchups, with Akila Wiltshire defeating Zoe McDonald 3-0, and top seed Mary Fangafat showcasing her class in a clinical win over Larissa Wiltshire. The strong opening day performances signal a promising campaign for Team Ghana as matches continue throughout the week. New Zealand head coach Rob Walters says Kane Williamson's return will boost both the team's skill and on-field leadership. Williamson is preparing for the first test by playing red ball cricket with Northern Districts in the Plunkett Shield. According to ESPN Cricket Info, Walter also praised Jacob Duffy and Blair Tickner, saying both bowlers understand the demands of Test cricket and have shown good recent form in white ball matches, earning confidence for possible Test roles. He highlighted Zach Folger's impressive debut against Zimbabwe and his strong white ball performances as reasons for keeping him in the squad. Tickner last played a Test in early 2023, but he stood out in his ODI return against England, taking 8 wickets in 2 matches. Several other bowlers, Matt Fisher, Will O'Rourke, and Ben Sears, were unavailable due to injury. The upcoming West Indies series will be New Zealand's first Test assignment of the 2025-27 World Test Championship cycle. Former Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney says Liverpool manager Arne Slot should consider dropping Mohamed Salah to spark the team's poor run of form. On his podcast, Rooney said that while Salah is a club legend, he isn't contributing defensively, and his lack of pressing sends a wrong message to new signings waiting for their chance. The BBC reports that Salah has gone several matches without a goal or assist, including Liverpool's 3-0 home loss to Nottingham Forest, despite scoring 5 earlier in the season. Rooney pointed out that Salah's exceptional form last year, when he led the Premier League in goals and assists, came during Slot's title-winning debut campaign. But after major summer additions including Florina Wirtz and Alexander Isak, Liverpool are struggling and sit 11th in the table with 18 points from 12 games. In the region, leader of government business Barry Padarat says Prime Minister Kamal Prasad Bisesar will not apologize for telling opposition MP Colm Imbert, "I'll cuff you down," during a heated moment in Parliament. Speaking with the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, Padarat said the Prime Minister was standing up for herself and for government members who, he argues, have faced years of unwarranted attacks from the People's National Movement. His defense comes after Imbert publicly accused the Prime Minister of making a serious threat of violence, a claim he repeated on X, questioning an example being set for the country. The PNM Women's League condemned Prasad Bisesar's remark as inappropriate and unbecoming of a Prime Minister, but Padarat pushed back, saying the opposition has long subjected UNC members to political molestation and personal attacks without similar outrage. He added Imbert provoked the exchange and said no apology is forthcoming, insisting the government will not stay silent in the face of what he calls continued bullying. In international news, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the 43-day U.S. government shutdown dealt a permanent $11 billion hit to the economy, but remains confident about next year. Speaking on Meet the Press, Bessent said interest rate-sensitive sectors like housing had slipped into recession, but he did not see the broader economy heading into negative growth.
Clearly, housing has been struggling, and interest rate-sensitive sectors have been in a recession. And the other thing that was not helpful, Kristen, was the longest government shutdown in history. It was 1.5% hit to GDP. The 9,500 flights canceled.
He blamed the services sector for inflation, not President Trump's tariffs, and said falling energy prices should ease costs further. The comments come as President Trump faces slipping approval ratings and growing voter frustration over rising prices. Bessent insisted the administration has set the table for strong non-inflationary growth in 2026, pointing to lower energy costs and rising home sales. Inflation is currently running at 3%. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett echoed that optimism, telling Fox News that 2026 could be a blockbuster year, though he warned of a slowdown this quarter because of the shutdown. Besson also highlighted upcoming tax changes, including caps on overtime taxes, reduced taxes on tips and Social Security for some workers, and deductible auto loans, saying Americans should see large refunds in earlier 2026. He says a wave of trade deals and new plant openings will help power growth, with a healthcare cost announcement expected this week. Finally, this evening, the world is not winning the climate fight, but is still firmly in it. That was the message from UN Climate Chief Simon Stiell as COP30 in Belém concluded with a fragile but hard-fought deal. Countries failed to agree on fossil fuel phase-out or deforestation roadmap, but the talks avoided collapse despite fierce political divides. Stiell said 194 nations choose unity and common sense.
COP30 showed that climate cooperation is alive and kicking, keeping humanity in the fight for a livable planet with a firm resolve to keep 1.5 within reach. I'm not saying we're winning the climate fight, but we're undeniably still in it, and we are fighting back. Here in Belém, nations chose unity, science, and economic common sense.
He highlighted 3 areas of real progress. First, countries agreed to triple global adaptation funding, giving vulnerable communities more resources to protect themselves from rising climate impacts. Second, they improved a just transition mechanism, setting guidelines to help workers and industries shift fairly toward cleaner economies. And third, for the first time, the deal formally recognized indigenous land rights and knowledge as essential to climate solutions. Though the package remains far below what science demands, cooperation held and the path to COP31 remains open. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.